What's going on, everyone? We finally have the official release of the latest chapter of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex, and as I told you guys that I was going to do, I'm going to review the entire chapter right now. If you guys can't tell, I am actually not at my usual setting. I am traveling for work right now, so I'm recording this video in the hotel room, jet lag with a massive headache just because I promised it to you guys, and I'm going to get the video out for you guys. So now, without any further ado, let's get into it. First things first is going to be the cover, and I actually am surprised that they put the Inochiga Cho trio in there. Then again, normally whenever they put someone on the cover, at least for the past 9 chapters of Boruto, it is because they're actually going to be important or relevant to this part of the story. So these 3, I'm expecting them to be some sort of relevant, even though for the most part the side cast hasn't been relevant at all for the most part. First page is obviously we're gonna see Yura. He's actually talking that he thought they were gonna be chasing Naruto Uzumaki, but it actually led them to the little girl, which is Himawari. Shikara is actually trying to talk to the sensory unit and saying that they've run into 2 likely trespassers, no sign of Master Sasuke. That is because they think Hidan is Sasuke probably. They're requesting immediate backup. But Yura is actually noticing that something is going on, and then Shikara actually starts conversation with them, asking them why they came to such a far place and if they're looking for something specific. Then he pulls out a book. This is how savage this man is. He pulled out a book, and actually the book is information regarding the Konoha ninja, because he's saying that that's right, you're Narashikadai of the Kasamatsuri Moegi's Team 10 and the current Hokage's son. So I guess the book that Yura has actually has information on the ninja from Konoha. Shikara is asking, so what? Do you have a message for his dad or something? He says, actually our business is with his predecessor, meaning Naruto. We came here following Uzumaki Naruto's trail, so frankly we're surprised too. But there's no way that Lord 7th will be here, because 3 years ago and then I guess Inojin was actually going to say that Naruto died 3 years ago, but Shikadai stopped him right there before he said anything that he wasn't supposed to do Jura. And then Jura says that he sees, well, he definitely doesn't seem to be anywhere in the village, for the only Nine-Tails signature is coming from the girl. So he's actually reading the chakra from the Nine-Tails inside Himawari already. They all get surprised by this, and Inojin is actually asking the Nine-Tails, because that doesn't make any sense. If Naruto had already died, there's no reason for anybody to be able to sense the Nine-Tails chakra, especially as everyone has been discussing this past couple of days. They have sensory units ninja over there at the Konoha. They should have been able to read the Nine-Tails chakra, but nobody has done it. Jojo is actually asking what's going on because she doesn't understand, but she can tell that Yura is actually bad news. Himawari is just completely confused at this entire thing. But when Shikara asks Yura to explain himself, he doesn't know what to say either. The world just keeps rising questions and more questions, and his curiosity just keeps going through the roof. But he actually ends up liking this curiosity. So he uses some sort of wood jutsu around Himawari to try to trap her, and as soon as he starts trapping her, Team 10 comes to the rescue. Obviously, Shikadai is the first one to react using the shadow paralysis jutsu, followed by Inojin throwing out some chameleon of some sort. I don't understand what the point of this is. But they actually end up pulling out Himawari by Shikadai stopping the tree from growing and Inojin pulling her out. Then Chojo just basically grabs her. And even though this is actually getting in the way of his plans, Yura is actually surprised by how much coordination Team 10 has. So he decides to give them a warning out of respect because of the teamwork that they have. Their sole target is basically Uzumaki Naruto, and they bear no enmity towards Team 10. However, if they insist on continuing to resist, they will have no choice but to attack them. So Shikamaru tries to reach out to Shikadai, and then Shikadai updates him with the information, saying that their actual target is Himawari. The reason being is that they're looking for the Nine-Tails, but he doesn't understand why. Then we switch over to a panel of Himawari basically looking into Yura and questioning why is it her that they're after? What is so special about her? We switch over to a panel of Kawaki, and Kawaki is basically on the floor, passed out still. But Amado is seeing what is going on, and he is asking himself, who is this guy? Meaning Jura, because he is seeing Jura on the television. And then, once again, we switch over to the young lord. Where is Boruto right now? But he's looking at his karma. And Kajin Koji is saying something that they have made a move, meaning Jura and Hidari, because they're back in Konoha right now. Obviously, because of the frog that Kajin Koji left out in Konoha, he's able to see what is going on back in the village. So Boruto is asking, where are they at? And then Kajin Koji says something interesting, fly to the triangle. What does the triangle mean? Because we haven't actually seen anything about a triangle yet. And then obviously Boruto uses the flying Raijin to go back into the village. Chicken then starts to ask a question to Jura. You said you came here following Uzumaki Naruto's trail, right? But now you're after Himawari. Why is that? And Jura is actually answering the questions because he doesn't really care. I'll be frank, the trail we followed is Nine Tails, and we happen to sense his chakra signature in Uzumaki Himawari. Shikadai starts then asking himself what is going on. Why is it Himawari the one that they're following the trail of the Nine Tails chakra? Even Himawari herself is asking this question out loud. Then Jura continues by saying, as I mentioned earlier, we were surprised too, but we need to find out why this situation exists. That's because Jura doesn't understand what is going on either, that Himawari is the one with the Nine Tails chakra signature. And we'll at least get one answer by devouring you, Uzumaki Himawari. So we know for sure now, because Jura is so bent on devouring Naruto, just because Himawari now has the same chakra signature, he is trying to devour her because he wants the Nine Tails chakra. It's not necessarily Naruto who he wants the Nine Tails chakra. So they all ask in question, like, devour? What does that even mean? Jura then says that they've been warned, Ino Chikacho. And I just find it amazing how much knowledge Jura already has on all of these ninja that he has never met. Is it from the book, or did he actually get the memories from someone? We switch over back to Shikamaru, and he is actually telling people to hurry up because obviously the situation is dire at this point, stating that Team 10 has engaged with them. It actually seems like Shikamaru noticed the frog that was behind him spying on them, mostly because the frog actually let him notice that it was there and telling him to link up with Yamanaka, because Boruto is coming back. We switch over to Kawaki, who is still passed out, but he's finally gaining back his senses. And Delta is actually letting him know, like, you're finally awake. Delta is worried about Kawaki because if something were to happen to him, she couldn't be able to face Ada since she's still under the charm. And then Kawaki says the one line that everyone in anime TikTok is saying these days: quit yapping. The damage is almost fully healed. Delta says just because you have near limitless regenerative ability doesn't mean you should be reckless. And then Kawaki notices something, saying that they have an uninvited guest, and yes, of course it is Boruto. They finally meet again face to face, but Boruto is not even paying attention to anything that Kawaki is doing or saying because he is actually focused on what is going on with Jura and Hidari. Then Shikamaru gets back in contact with Boruto, asking him if he can hear him because they're in a private line again thanks to Ino. Boruto says that he can hear him loud and clear, and Shikamaru follows by saying that there are two enemies. Your divine trees, by the looks of it. They supposedly came looking for Naruto, but now they're after Himawari, and this is not going to sit well with Boruto. We all know how protective he is over his little sister. It seems that the Nine Tails chakra is involved. Ring any bells? And then Boruto is actually surprised by this as well because he doesn't know anything about Himawari and the Nine Tails chakra. Even Kajin Koji is surprised by hearing this. Kawaki shows up behind Boruto and is talking to the sensory unit, confirming Boruto's trespass. He's probably erased his chakra signature. I'm surprised actually that Kawaki is letting someone else know that he figured out or that he found Boruto over there. Letting them know he's actually near the Great Gate, right where the Jonin were murdered. Boruto wasn't expecting to be found by Kawaki so quick, and Kawaki is actually asking the question by saying, why are you sneaking around for? And those creepy monsters, are they friends of yours? Boruto asks Shikamaru to give him a little bit of time, and then saying that Kawaki has found them. Following a question to Kawaki asking him what is he doing there when Konoha is actually the one that is being attacked. But obviously Kawaki doesn't give a rat's ass about Konoha, he just wants Boruto. There are some serious self-denial. You are the enemy of Konoha, Boruto. Boruto continues by saying that's enough. Dealing with them is the higher priority. If you want, you're welcome to come along. But Kawaki, obviously he doesn't ever listen, so he's taking it like Boruto is mocking him by saying that. He actually tries to attack Boruto, and this is the great thing. I love when Kawaki gets humbled because he thinks that he is all that, when he actually isn't. Kawaki tries to use his ocular jutsu to throw the rods at Boruto, but he easily dodges them, which actually surprises Kawaki and Delta. But he tries again, and Boruto is actually easily able to dodge it again, so he decides to go for a melee attack, which obviously was not gonna work, and with a simple punch in base, Boruto sends Kawaki flying. And I love the fact, once again, that Kawaki is being humble because he thinks that he really is all that when he isn't. And this is the most interesting part, well, the second most interesting part about the chapter that I enjoyed myself. When Boruto walks up to Kawaki, looking down on him and says, pitiful, have you been training at all? And this reminds me back, if you guys remember, during the Naruto time skip when he first meets up with Sasuke, Sasuke says the exact same thing to Naruto, looking down on him and tells him, You've been chasing me throughout all this time when you could have just been training. That shows the parallel between Naruto and Sasuke and Boruto and Kawaki, which I think is peak writing. Then Delta goes and asks the right question, more like how much did you train? Emphasizing way more just exactly how much training Boruto has been doing throughout that entire time that he was with Sasuke. Kawaki turns on his karma seal, and this actually starts resonating with Boruto, which for some reason, it's not a good thing because the frogs start saying this is bad. The karmas are resonating, and this does not sit well with Boruto at all. Boruto, you need to leave now. Put distance between you or you're gonna lose control. So this is actually a very good piece of information. Boruto doesn't have control over his karma. Right now, we have never seen Boruto be this worried before since the time skip happened. As a matter of fact, we have seen Boruto rely solely on his abilities, absolutely nothing related to the karma. So it seems probable that the stronghold that Momoshiki has on Boruto over the karma has actually gotten way worse because he is so worried, and even Kajin Koji is telling him to leave now that the karma is resonating. Boruto actually starts flying and completely leaves, and this does not slip Kawaki's mind. He notices that something is going on, even asking himself, so Boruto cannot control his own karma, which is going to be the one weak spot that Boruto has at this point. Anytime that Kawaki gets close enough to Boruto, he can just activate his own karma, which is going to make it resonate with Boruto's, and then it's going to put Boruto at a disadvantage. We go back to the fight between Team 10 and Jura, and Inojin actually drew a whole eagle that they're flying on. I guess they're trying to escape to take Himawari away. Not only that, Shikara actually uses shadow paralysis to try to stop Jura, and dude actually starts creating a Biju bomb out of his eye. Shikara notices that this is bad news, but thankfully Chocho is actually there to save him. She punches Jura out of the way, sending the Biju bomb in a completely opposite direction, but the explosion is still there. If that were to have hit Shikara where he was, we would have lost a good portion of Team 10. Then we go back and we see Himawari actually noticing just how much power there is. And once again, we see Sarada coming to the rescue alone with irrelevant character number 9, or as some people like to call her, Sumire. Inojin comes back and he actually tries grabbing Chocho and Shikara in order to take them away. Jura actually looks back at Hidari and saying that they're getting away. Is that okay? When Jura responds with saying that the target is actually Uzumaki Himawari, they knew all they had to do was hand her over, but they intend to keep resisting to the bitter end at the risk of death. Hidari actually ends up pointing out that they are fools, that they don't seem very intelligent in order to do that. But Jura actually responds with a complete opposite thing. That is not true. Something is driving them past their own survival instincts. What that something is likely to be crucial information for them as well. At this point, Jura is actually more curious about how humans behave than his own devouring another Otsutsuki or Uzumaki goal. We get a small conversation between Team 10 saying that that was close. There would have been nothing left for them if they had been hit with that, but as long as Himawari is with them, they probably won't unleash an attack like that again because obviously it's going to hurt Himawari. So let's wait and see what they'll do next. Either way, shouldn't we fly out of the village? That is a question that Chojo is asking. Good thinking, we can lead them away and then, but Himawari is actually thinking way too much. She's not actually paying attention to anything that is going on. And then she states that she is actually going to escape on her own. Shikara and Inojin try to talk her out of it, saying that they're actually going to catch her if she tries to do that, so there's no point trying to escaping by herself. Himawari talks back to them saying that they're actually way too strong, so it's the same for Team 10. If they stay with her, they're actually going to be in a lot of trouble. So Himawari concerned says, at this rate, you all will, and then she switches over to her subconscious. She starts looking around because she doesn't realize what is going on, but then she's back to normal on the outside. It's like she doesn't even know that she is looking into her own subconscious because on the outside she kind of just froze. We switch over to a panel and we see a figure behind Himawari that is saying, good grief, I can't believe that jerk 10 Tails would sniff me out. And when she turns around, it's nothing more than a baby Kurama saying, little girl, do you know who I am? And Himawari asks, you're the Nine Tails, right? And this is the biggest shocking revelation that we got from this chapter. Second biggest being that Boruto cannot control his karma. He's actually afraid of his karma because it probably means that Momoshiki is going to take control, and with how powerful Boruto has gotten, it's probably not a good thing if Momoshiki takes over. But the fact that Kurama is back has been having the entire fandom in shambles for the past couple of days. Here's the reason. There were a lot of people that didn't think, me included, that Kurama was going to be able to come back. Reason being because of everything that happened with Barrio Mode and the way that it was explained how Barrio Mode was something completely different. There was no indication that Kurama would come back, even though a lot of people would agree differently just because it was stated back in Shippuden that all of the tail beasts would basically reincarnate because they're just pure chakra. Now, me personally, I did not think that Kurama was going to come back at all. So this is actually a massive surprise that Kurama, or baby Kurama, is showing back. Clearly, it has memories of everything that was happening because it was purposely trying to hide inside Himawari, saying that it couldn't believe that the 10 tails would sniff him out. So Kurama was actually doing something for not even the sensory units to be able to sense that he was there. And it seems like he knows who Himawari is, because even though he's calling her little girl, the fact that he's asking who he is, to me, seems to show that Kurama actually still has the memories or the same consciousness that he used to have back when he was with Naruto. Overall, just like every single chapter, Boruto's chapters are massive bangers every single month. And the only issue with them is that we only get them once a month. Because now, unfortunately, we're going to have to wait another 30 days until we find out what the hell is going on with this little Kurama. I enjoyed the chapter very much. You guys let me know in the comments. What did you think? Was this chapter as big a deal as everyone else is making it to seem? What do you think about baby Kurama? I'd love to find out your thoughts.